Imagine the world around you has grown 1,000-fold. You stand on an ant trail. The ground trembles with the steps of thousands of colossal bodies rushing past. You scream, but no sound escapes. You wave your arms, but you go unseen. All your attempts to make contact are futile. The main problem isn't your size, it's your scent. You smell wrong. And this scent isn't just a mistake, it's a deafening cry of enemy in a language you don't understand. Depending on the species, ants possess 40 to 400 olfactory receptor genes, 4 to 5 times more than most other insects. Your scent to them is like an air raid siren blaring in absolute silence. It's sensory overload. Their world is built on chemical signals, on pheromones. For them, scent isn't just information, it's their sole reality. It replaces sight, hearing, and logic. Every ant carries a passport on its body, the unique scent of its colony, a pass into the world of its own kind. You lack this. This passport is a complex cocktail of cuticular hydrocarbons, like a unique QR code spread across its entire body. It's so precise that, as myrmecologist Bert Höldobler's research showed, ants can distinguish not only outsiders but also workers from different castes within their own family. But what exactly makes your scent so dangerous? Human sweat, skin oils, breath. They create a deafening cacophony, a signal of something catastrophic invading. One key component of our scent is oleic acid, a product of fat decomposition. For many ant species, as biologist E.O. Wilson discovered, oleic acid is a necromone, a death pheromone. You don't just smell like a stranger, you literally smell like a walking, decomposing corpse. And so the verdict is delivered. Within seconds, hundreds of antennae turn toward you. The reaction is instantaneous, requiring no deliberation. This isn't hatred, it's a systemic error. The colony defense program is activated, and you are its primary target. For leafcutter ants, alarm pheromones spread at up to 10 centimeters per second, triggering a chain reaction. This isn't an army deciding to attack, it's a nervous system responding to pain. Survival here isn't a fight, but chemical compatibility. This language is impossible to learn. The ant lexicon contains only a few dozen words. Undecane is a universal alarm cry. Pyrazines are a food here road sign, but you can't utter a single word. Your attempt to say, "I belong," is like trying to mentally alter the chemical composition of your sweat. It's a biological malfunction. A scout ant finds sugar. It doesn't draw a map, it leaves behind a command in the form of a chemical trail. Other ants encountering the trail cannot disobey. Their nervous system is programmed to follow. It's not a GPS that can be disbelieved, it's like a moving walkway at an airport. You're not so much walking on it as it's carrying you along. The system is self-regulating. When the food runs out, the scout stops refreshing the trail, and it evaporates. But a trail might not lead to sugar, it might lead to you. And instead of the scent of food, the scout leaves behind a threat pheromone, often formic acid-based. The trail then transforms into a battle highway, leading directly to your execution. This chemical alarm doesn't just point the way, it alters the behavior of everyone who inhales it, switching them from worker mode to berserker soldier mode. Imagine for a second, every one of your emotions has a scent. Fear, deceit, joy. Everyone around you instantly reads your truth. No secrets, no diplomacy, no polite lies. Research at Utrecht University has shown that humans can distinguish a person in a state of fear by the smell of their sweat. In ants, this mechanism is absolute. Your body screams the truth, even if you remain silent. The complexity lies in the fact that they speak not in words, but in sentences. Concentration is crucial. A drop of alarm pheromone is a caution signal. A cloud of this pheromone is a command to attack anything that moves and smells foreign. One person shouting "fire" might elicit curiosity. A crowd roaring "fire" would cause panic. With your constant scent, you are that perpetually screaming crowd. You create a zone of permanent, absolute panic. Your sounds and gestures are mere background noise to them. You are deaf and mute in a world of sense. Worse still, you are the source of an overwhelming white noise that jams their entire communication system. You're not just a spam email that can be deleted, you're a constant DDoS attack on their collective neural network. You prevent genuine signals from getting through. And the system cannot ignore you. It is obligated to eliminate the source of interference. In this world, you wouldn't even have a career choice. Your role is determined before birth, depending on what you were fed as a larva. This is called trophogenic caste determination. A special protein-rich diet turns a larva into a queen. A regular menu turns it into a worker. Imagine if your entire career, from a laborer to a president, depended solely on your kindergarten menu. Let's follow a single ant. Its day is a simple cycle: foraging for food, delivering it to the nest, cleaning tunnels, feeding larvae. It asks no questions. It executes its program. It has no concept of I, there is only we. Its life only has meaning as a function of the colony. Philosopher Douglas Hofstadter compared an anthill to a brain. Each ant is a dumb neuron, a simple switch. It doesn't possess individual reason. But together they create the colony's mind. A solitary ant, severed from the collective, is doomed. It will wander aimlessly until it dies of hunger or exhaustion. Now let's look at you through the eyes of a soldier ant. It sees a giant object that performs no known function. You don't carry food, you don't build, you don't feed the queen, you don't smell like a larva. In its binary logic, function or threat, you unequivocally fall into the second category. There is no third option. A soldier is a living tool, like a hammer. In some species, such as Eciton army ants, their mandibles are so large and specialized for combat that they cannot feed themselves. Workers must feed them. The soldier's program is simple. If the scent isn't its own, then attack. To it, you are merely an incorrect argument in the code, triggering the destroy function. Someone must manage all this, and that's the queen. But she isn't a queen issuing commands. She's a chemical factory. Her pheromones suppress the reproductive function of all other females and cement the social structure. She doesn't rule, she programs the reality around her. Her scent is law. She's not a queen, but rather the colony's main server and Wi-Fi router. Her pheromones are a constant background signal that blankets the entire nest and keeps the system running. As soon as this signal vanishes, chaos begins within the system. The colony is doomed. You are an anomaly without function. You are a glitch in the program. And in a superorganism, any element that doesn't contribute is treated as a cancer cell. It isn't repaired or integrated, it's isolated and destroyed. The analogy to a cancer cell here is absolutely precise. A cancer cell is a formerly self cell that ceased performing its collective function and began acting in its own interests, threatening the entire organism. You, with your individual consciousness and instinct for self-preservation, are precisely such a cancer cell, from the superorganism's perspective. This is the fundamental error in your perception. An anthill isn't a city, it's a single body. The concept of a superorganism was proposed by William Morton Wheeler back in 1911. Worker ants are its muscles and circulatory system, soldiers, its immune system, the queen, its ovaries. An individual ant possesses no more individuality than one of your liver cells. When a virus enters your body, your immune system doesn't negotiate with it. White blood cells attack and engulf the foreign object. Your appearance is an infection. Their attack is an immune response, reflexive and merciless. Soldier ants are the colony's white blood cells, and their goal isn't victory, but sterilization. This isn't war, it's disinfection. They even possess special metapleural glands that secrete antibiotics to treat the nest and their kin. This is called social immunity. And here we return to the scent of death, oleic acid. When an ant dies, its body begins to release this substance. Other ants, detecting the signal, immediately carry the corpse to a special graveyard to prevent the spread of disease. This process is called necrophoresis. It's not a ritual, it's a sanitary protocol, embedded at the reflex level. Now imagine Edward O. Wilson's famous experiment. He took a living, perfectly healthy ant and simply applied a synthesized death scent to it. Its own nestmates seized it and dragged it to the graveyard. It was alive. It struggled desperately, but it made no difference. The chemical signal proved more important than reality. It's as if your office pass suddenly turned red, and security started throwing you out, completely ignoring your cries of, "It's me!" For ants, scent is reality. Kill 10, 100, 1,000. It will change nothing. For the superorganism, it's like us losing a few skin cells. New ones will replace them. A mature colony of nomadic ants can number up to 700,000 individuals. The loss of 1,000 soldiers to it is a statistical error. You are trying to win a war of attrition against an enemy whose resources and willingness to self-sacrifice are endless. You're not fighting an army, you're fighting an immune system the size of a city. An ant's brain is a rudimentary processor with about 250,000 neurons executing basic commands. Your brain is a highly complex system of 86 billion neurons, generating consciousness, ego, and self-identification. You are trying to run a quantum computing program on a calculator. Your intelligence here is a useless, redundant, and energy-intensive organ. You might devise a brilliant escape plan. You might understand their tactics and find a vulnerability in their defenses. But you cannot issue a command. You cannot deceive them with your scent. You cannot convince them. Your intelligence is trapped in a body that, in this world, is merely a piece of meat with the wrong chemical signature. It's akin to locked-in syndrome, a state where the mind is fully clear, but the body is paralyzed and cannot communicate with the outside world. Your intelligence becomes your personal hell, allowing you to fully grasp the utter hopelessness of the situation without providing a single tool to change it. And here lies the ultimate irony. Your consciousness, your individuality, humanity's greatest evolutionary gift, here becomes your death sentence. It creates a chasm between you and the system. It makes you solitary. You are the only one who comprehends the full horror of what's happening, while your executioners are simply doing their job. Yourself is a virus in their system. The very idea of personal survival, contradicting the good of the colony, is inconceivable to them. An ant would unhesitatingly throw itself into a fire to create a bridge for others. You are incapable of that. Your instinct for self-preservation is betrayal from their perspective. Ants are not evil. They have no concept of good or evil. There is only order and chaos, self and foreign, function and threat. You are chaos, threat, and foreign. Your destruction to them is not an act of aggression, but an act of hygiene. It's like a surgeon removing a tumor. The surgeon doesn't hate the tumor. There's only the understanding that this element harms the organism and must be removed. Your elimination is not an execution, but a sanitary procedure. So, the survival protocol. It consists of just 3 rules. First, speak their language. Smell like them. Not similar, identical. Second, become a function. Be useful. Forage for food. Tend to larvae. Do something. Third, abandon yourself. Obey chemical commands without hesitation, even those leading to certain death. There are organisms that have cracked this code. Caterpillars of Macrolinia blue butterflies. They release pheromones that mimic the scent of ant larvae. They even emit similar sounds. The ants drag them into the nest. They feed them as their own. Sometimes to the detriment of their own offspring. This proves the protocol works, but it's inaccessible to you. You cannot synthesize this scent in real time. You don't know their operational protocols. And most importantly, you cannot switch off your consciousness. It's like trying to install iOS on an Android smartphone. They are incompatible at a hardware level. Our evolution, for millions of years, followed the path of individual reason. Theirs followed the path of dissolving individuality into the collective. Survival here is not a matter of strength or intelligence. It's a matter of fundamental compatibility. According to Bert Hölldobler and Edward Wilson, the total biomass of all ants on Earth is equal to, or even exceeds, the biomass of all humans. We are a successful species, but they are a successful system. Some see this as an ideal future society where everything runs like clockwork. Others see the most terrifying dystopia, devoid of freedom. Artificial intelligence researchers are already actively studying their swarm intelligence. It's needed for systems operating without central command, from warehouse management to coordinating combat drones. Elements of this future, or this dystopia, are already being built.